Anybody else getting sick now that the kids are back in the building? My youngest had, I don't know what you call it, a cold. She was coughing for a little bit. Seems to be on the mend though, which is very encouraging. I thought for a hot second that I was going to start getting sick, but kids are back in school. They're back in the building. The germs are flying. Wondering if you guys are weathering that storm okay or not. I seem to be doing just fine. We're getting through, and kids are thriving in the school buildings right now. So we have some extra time to hit extra stores when we are outsourcing. So I'm going to get in and we are going to dig and see what we can find, see what we can flip. Has anybody sold this? I've sold this hilarious Caddyshack gopher. How many times now? Maybe 3 times. They've got it marked up, so they definitely knew at least what they had, because that's not something that's usually marked up to $13. Listen, if it works, I can get $40 for it. I don't know if it works or not. I'm not going to try to test it in store. I'm not going to fumble around and try to find batteries. So when we get home, maybe we'll throw some batteries in it and we'll look at it together and see if it works. Does Caddyshack hold up? Is it still funny to this day? Are there younger generations that appreciate that movie? I know Happy Gilmore 2 just came out, but like Happy Gilmore 1 was also like when I was in college, I believe, is when that came out. Funny at the time. It's not something that I find funny today. So I'm wondering if Caddyshack for the younger generations is funny, or maybe they don't get it. I still think the movie is hilarious. I love Bill Murray, and I get a kick out of it. I always have. It's just one of those movies that came out. I think that came out in the 80s, like where everything was great. And I've talked about that before on this channel. But the Caddyshack, the gopher will sell, if it works, between $30 and $40. But this is pre-owned, and I think you can even get more than that if you really wanted to wait. But I think $40 is where I'm going to land. $13 I'm paying up, big deal, whatever. I'm looking for, obviously Jellycat. Super popular right now. Labubu is going to be extremely difficult to find, so the likelihood that happens is super low because those are only sold through popmart.com right now. That was an FAO Schwartz bunny, very expensive toy store at one time. I don't know if that flagship store is still there. Used to be a flagship store, I think, in New York City somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the gopher, we're gonna go with him and move on to, this is the only rack that they have. How am I doing, ladies, with the frame silk dress? I'm going to be honest with you. I picked this up because it still had the tag and it said silk, and then the tag, like underneath the tag, said it retailed at like $350. So I picked it up and I set it aside. I still bought it. I know nothing about the Frame brand. I don't know where it's sold. So feel free to let me know or let me have it in the comments if I picked it up, if I picked up an item that I should have picked up, or that something that I should have left behind. There's a lot of brands out there that are very high retail price that simply do not get the price respect on the secondary marketplaces that some other brands do. So I'm kind of guessing when it comes to the woman's silk blouse, top, dress, whatever that was. But I think that may have been, I don't remember what else I got at this location, so let's check the rest of the rack. There's a lot of very basic stuff here. I'm finding moderate success in all of the stores that I'm going in. I'm like getting wind that some of the Goodwill franchise in my area is going to try to put a little bit more of an emphasis on Shop Goodwill. This is very much hearsay, so if you're from Columbus in the area and you're listening to me, take all of what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because I don't know how good or how accurate my sources are. I do have sources. I do talk to them. I do want to know what's going on. I would like to stay a little bit ahead of the ball when it comes to things like that, because listen, this is how we feed the kids. So if there's going to be a heavier emphasis on Shop Goodwill, that's a very customer unfriendly policy or policies if we're talking about foot traffic in stores. But listen, this could all just be a bunch of hearsay and a bunch of nonsense. So but I'm having moderate success in some of these stores. They all feel slow right now, and I don't know if it's just the time of year or what, but I am selling more shoes, which is lovely. So buy more shoes, you sell more shoes. Imagine that. So that's good. I'm trying to fill that gap. I think I'm down around 10% net from last year's sales, and that is attributed to the fact that I'm selling less shoes, like a lot less. So I gotta pick that up. Nothing else on this rack, huh? No? Okay. Move over to a cart. There's a lot of very basic things here. I think there was a West Virginia Mountaineers like grill set. Can't use that. Does anybody buy these Garmin's anymore? I haven't even looked one of those up in a long time. Oh, everybody has Google Maps at this point, and I don't know what's run through. I mean, I know there's ones that are run through the car now automatically, and that would eliminate the need to have one of those Garmin's in the car. And I think this, what were we looking at? This is pulled glass. I don't think this came out from the back. This doesn't look like, no, although I don't know. I think the lady was pulling all of this glass off of the racks. There's netting going on there. This was a nice pair of Skechers. I didn't look it up. I don't know. I don't sell tons of Skechers. I don't really pay much attention to them. Interesting pair of suede Vans. I'm going to leave those behind. Another pair that would actually sell if they had the insoles. They didn't. So not very impressed with the footwear here. Pumas. I don't pick up the majority of the Puma that I do see. What is this? If those were the like gold toe Sperry's or gold cup Sperry's, those would have been worth something. Dunks, Nike, those had too much damage. Nothing here that I can really use. Brooks, I'm still selling Brooks really well. Those had too much wear on the soles, but Brooks is doing well for me. My Nike sales have picked up a little bit, but I have so much more Nike than I do everything else. So as I would expect that at some point. And FootJoys, can't use those. All right, what else are we looking at? Interesting pieces of art, but I don't think we've got anything here. All right, we're moving over to a different store. I think this may have been Renner Road. If you see these Thumper massagers, grab them. I tested this in store. It definitely works. They want $6.99 for it. Very consistent sellers. I will have to clean it up a little bit, but there were 3 speed functions. All 3 of them worked. Cord was in great shape. Just needs to be cleaned up. Give it a little bit more of a clean aesthetic look when I do my photographs. And I think I'm going to put this up for in between $40 and $50. Those are super old massagers, and you never know. There's lots of Homedics is a brand that I see of massagers that I don't pick up the majority of them for whatever reason. That one that you just saw has value, so don't automatically pass those up. Make sure you're looking them up. I'm glad I did. Trust me, there was a time where I was passing them up left and right. So I know better than that. Do as I say, not as I do. So I'll be checking them more and more. And I'm really glad that I went in and, you do have to dig in this business. And coming up here shortly, I found it's a very small, that's not it, spare parts accessory package for the Littman stethoscopes. If you've been following me in one of the other stores that I source in, and it's coming up here shortly, you'll see it. But I found a bunch of stethoscope pieces and parts, and one of them was a Littman, and so this is a good find. You'll see it here in just a second. I'm still sourcing golf and still selling it. So golf has been great. As far as Halloween items, with Halloween coming up, I feel like I don't have as much as this year as I did last year, so that might contribute to why I'm a little bit slower right now as well. I had some really high dollar blow-ups, the things you put in your lawn. I had a bunch of those that I sold last year around this time, so that was kind of keeping me afloat and keeping my sales numbers high, but not a ton of Halloween items yet, and I'm running out of time. Even though it is an evergreen niche, I just am not finding as much this year as I was last year. So I'm going to take the Stitch Quick Plus Swinger cordless mending machine. These are good for like $25, $30. What was the price on it? I think it cost $6. I'm going to check just to make sure it's brand new. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up if it's not. So it looks completely brand new in the package, and I think it was $6. I think it was $5.99. So I'll take that, and I will probably list it for $25. Hopefully it will sell. This is interesting. I didn't know there was a vintage TI-30 from Texas Instruments. Take a look at that. Very old TI-30. These sell, and it did come with the case. The prices are really all over the place though. So I'm going to leave it behind. I do not feel like testing it. It's one of those big clunky things that still works really well. And I've seen like $5 sales. I've also seen it sell as high as $25, and I really couldn't make the distinction in the two listings what made the difference. There's the Littman package right there. I just noticed it. $4. 40016 was like the product or the item code. So that was great. I will take that, and that's why you've got to dig. You just got to keep going in here. This is more of the like arts and crafts section in this store. I want to say about a year ago, they had an entire basket of Stampin' Up. If we're talking arts and crafts, big basket of, and I think they run a subscription model where it's monthly, and they send you stamps and all sorts of stickers and all these things on a monthly basis. They had a mark $10, and I'm pretty sure there was like $400 to $500 worth of like their product in there. That was such a great find. This might have been over a year ago, but that was fantastic. That's a great brand. If you weren't familiar with that for arts and crafts, definitely look into that. So I found it's sort of similar in this section. Might have been on the bottom shelf, just kind of tucked away. Marked $9.99, and I didn't know the first thing about it until I started looking it up. So that was a wonderful find. Boy, would I love to find one just like that coming up here. But this is a great section to mess around in because I think most of us kind of overlook a lot of those items in that section. At least I have, and I'm trying to do that a little bit less. I'm going to grab the bean boots. Definitely when fall starts coming up, I start loading up on these. I think they're missing the insoles though. These are vintage, and they're a size 10 men's. So great pickup. They need to be cleaned. It's just surface area, dirt, no big deal. But I'm pretty sure that says 10. So without the insoles though, what am I going to do? These would be $50 if they had the insoles. So I might just, because they're heavy, they're going to be over 3 pounds. I think maybe just putting them up at 25. I'm only going to pay $6 for them. $25, that ensures that it's a good enough deal for them if they need to get insoles. I think that's absolutely fair. And then these are Merrell Moabs. The soles are fantastic. There is one brand that when I'm washing shoes and I put it in my washer and dryer that I struggle with. There's some plastic on Merrell shoes that cracks, so I have to be really careful. In fact, it's that little piece right there that I'm concerned with the most. But pillowcase, a little bit of Dawn soap, cold cycle, fast cycle in my washer, and then I let it air dry. I'm going to throw those in the wash, but I will leave the bean boots out just because I can clean them faster, just wiping those ones down. Great pair of Cole Haans here, but they had too much wear. As for those Merrells, those are going to be, I think, around $50 for me, but let's say $25 for the bean boots, just so that somebody, maybe they're getting a replacement pair and they can use their old insoles, or they have to buy new ones. That's kind of annoying. I don't like selling shoes without the insoles in most cases, so I'm going to put $25 on it just to entice people to buy them quicker than they otherwise would, because they're definitely going to sit. I forgot to look this brand up. Weinbrenner. This is a cool looking shoe, and if it was worth something, I missed it. Again, this is Renner Road. If you're local in the Hilliard area, go grab it. Style was Brussels, and then I think that was it for the shoes in this area. What I'm noticing is they're pricing them down more now. I see lots of $5.99s rather than $10. So maybe they are reducing their prices in this area. I don't know. This thing here is a sweet find at $3.99, but I'm absolutely suspicious because it's a model kit, right? Lindbergh, Robert E. Lee, Mississippi Steamboat. Let's assume it has all the pieces, because I am not counting it right here. If it's missing something, I'm out $4. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and count it now. We'll do that when I get home at some point. But I'm looking for the sticker pack. I saw that. It looks like every single bag is completely unopened. So let's just assume that it is complete. And at $4, it sells anywhere between brand new, I'm going to say $60 to $100. That is fantastic. The box is around like 22, 21 to 23, 24 inches long. So I already know that I can fit it inside a specific box that I get from Walmart. Lengthwise, it's no problem, but the parts have to all be there, and I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time counting it, so it is what it is. So some action figure here that I didn't bother looking up, and then what was this? Bachelorette Bash. I'm sure that's a fun game, but for resale purposes, I don't think I can use it. And what else are we looking at here? This is from, I think, Mutant Mayhem, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, but that fellow was missing parts, and I don't think he had much value even if he was complete. So dig through the baskets one more time. Any little hidden card games that might have some value. No go on these puzzles. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else the second time around that. Oh, maybe that little record player, if there's that Fisher Price. Those used to sell. I don't know if they do anymore. That little thing that's right next to the Playscape that I'm looking at. All right, we're at a new store. Couple more items. I had no idea that these little Pandora cases or containers had value. This one looks brand new. And the cool thing about this one is your little charms, it has the little bags on the inside, like Velcroed to the inside. So brand new, complete. Those things sell for between $20 and $40. I had no idea. I mean, there's going to be some that sell less, some that sell more, but I think I can get at least $30 for that one. I did not know that. I know Pandora charms are collectible, and I think there's a store or stores in a lot of the malls around here where you can sell them, but I had no idea the cases were good. So in fact, I just sold an Oakley's glasses case for $20. This thing was pretty unique, but these little things they're everywhere. It's nice to know, especially because to me it's not obvious. That wasn't obvious. Maybe you were familiar with it, about a Pandora charm collector or a Pandora charm giver. So who knows? I didn't know, but I learned something new every day. It's amazing. That was an amazing find. I was hoping these were vintage. They're definitely not vintage. Anytime you see one of those like QR code type items in there, you know that that's a newer shoe. So I'm a no-go on the Converse. Those were too plain. And the rest of this stuff looks just pretty generic. So one more thing I want to show you before we go home. This will be the second time I've sold this Victorian dollhouse. Right now, I think I can get around between $30 and $40 for it. At that price, I think I'm the lowest. But it's just a pop-up Victorian book, and it does have some of the like female figures in there. The last time I sold this, I had an issue with one of the strings, and it didn't come with these figures. So depending on the condition of it, because it looks a little bit rough right now, and you can see there's two of them. There should be another one in there, but I think $30 to $40 for this is great. If you find this, get it listed and get it sold, because it does sell for good money. But the highest one listed the lowest one that I saw listed right now is $55. It's probably going to sit at $55, but $40 or so, $30, somewhere in that price range. I think that's what moves it. It is taped up a little bit, so I'm going to have to look at this a little bit closer, but it was only 99 cents. So if I can't use it, I'm out 99 cents, big deal. But definitely look for this little dollhouse pop-up book. Good seller. And I don't remember what I sold it for the last time with the damage. It might have been around $20, but I remember getting positive feedback for it when I did sell it. So look for that one. That is a good one. I think that might be it for all of the things in this video. We are going to test the Caddyshack gopher. Let's see if that little fella works. And like I said, if it does, $40. All right, let's go there now. Okay. Let's get these last two batteries in. The battery compartment looks like it's pretty clean. I'm not gonna have to, well, let's see if this works first. Okay, we got 4 batteries in. And we're gonna hit the button and hope, oh, that's not a good sign. Oh, there we go. Yeah. This is the silliest thing. All right, it works. I'll take it. Don't have to clean that either. And yeah, what did I say on this? We're gonna put $40 on him. Tilt him a little bit. Good looking fella, huh? And I just finished up sort of itemizing all of the pieces and bags in the model kit, and it looks like everything is there. So that was a fantastic find. I think we did pretty well today with a limited amount of time on our hands and only going to a couple of stores. So that's all I've got for you. I hope you find the same or have similar success when you're outsourcing today. Go out and enjoy the weather if it's beautiful wherever you are. And I appreciate each and every one of you. That's all I've got for you. Peace. We'll see you in the next one.